Y'all, we're here for day 2 in Izmir and the 7th of the Turkish series. Now we're here again with Nuket from Culinary Backstreets. She's going to be showing us that motherly love and keep taking us around Izmir. If you checked out the first video, you know just how charming and diverse it really and truly is. Well, we're going to keep that theme going. We're going to keep exploring around. We're going to do seafood from the Aegean Sea. We're going to do pide. We're going to do gevrek, which is Izmir's type of cement, and even more. Hope you're excited. I'm hungry, so I hope you are as well. Let's get it started. So now we're at a place for the gevrek. It's like Izmir's take on the cement. It does have its differences though. Where cement may have 2 strands worked together, gevrek just has that one. This one's really special because it's thin and it's a huge loop. I don't know if you can see in the back, but that's actually where they're dunking them in a molasses and water mixture. Give it just a little bit of sweetness, a little stickiness before they coat it in that sesame seed. I mean, this place is very, very famous. Here since 1962, and you'll see the love it has from the Izmir people. They will line up to come get this gevrek and then cross the street, connected with the Boyoz. The owner, when he moved here from another city, he didn't have anything. He just had this tiny little shop right here. He used to, you know, sleep in his shop. He used to always work. No even time to go home because he didn't even have anywhere. So it's a true rags to riches success story. And when you've taken all those years to continue to work so hard and perfect something and give it your all, it just shows what can come of it. It's a beautiful story here. Unfortunately, the owner's no longer with us, but now his 3 sons are working here. So check this out, look at the teamwork. They want to show us how to make the boyoz, but there's actually no electricity right now, so they're all kind of using the lights on their phones to help me. And look at this, this has to be about 2 meters long. I could lay flat and this could cover me, blanket from head to toe. It's 9 o'clock now. He's using this dough right here, which he got here at 4 a.m. to start prepping. The life of a baker. It is a true labor of love. And can you hear him working the dough? You can hear how wet it is, but he's just ripping it off and closing the edges in. He's gonna let them rest, let them rise just a little bit longer, and then in the oven they go. He doesn't have as many sesame seeds, and the fermentation part for the gevrek is shorter than a cement, as well as the molasses water mixture they dip it in. It's actually going to be hot here instead of cold like for a cement.
Different salad, which is, we call it Çingen salata, gypsy salad. Because apparently the gypsies are doing this kind of salad. He believed in me. This is a kind of a sandwich. Maybe you should like this. Kashari, tulum, and tomato.
I gotta go for this sandwich first. 2 types of cheese, tomato on there. Ooh, very fragrant bread. Looks like a little butteriness to it, or it might just be that melted cheese. Oh, that bread is outstanding. I love the toasted sesame seed on it for a little nuttiness, but then the cheese, the kashari just melts. The tulum is pungent and powerful. And that little tomato is refreshing. It's a perfectly simple sandwich. Actually, all that needs is just a little pepper. I'm gonna open mine up with a little pepper on it. You can see also with this gevrek, it doesn't have those two strands wrapped around like a simit. It's just this one strand. You can't really just pull it apart like you do the simit. That's just years and years of working on this and tweaking it until you get it as close to perfection as possible. Love that crust on the actual gevrek. The inside is a little dense, but it's nice and doughy, and then you get the crunch from the sesame seed. It's got just a touch of sweetness from being dipped in that molasses. But really, I really like the smaller size because I like the outside crunch ratio to the inside dough. And then I'm going to call it the king of cheeses in Turkey, the tulum. Wow. You can have that for breakfast every day. So here we got a spinach filled one, and this is going to be tahina for a little dessert. So let's keep the savory theme going. Oh no, you're fine.
No, Max, pardon. Max gelen ama Alex sanırım.
And just look at those layers. Look at that. That Theo-like mixture with the spinach. And you see they don't fill these very much. It's all about that dough, that flakiness, that phyllo-likeness. To me, since you don't get much feeling, it's just always got to go with the tulum cheese. No matter what you do, it needs to go with tulum cheese.
Türkiye'de sosyologların değeri bilinmiyor. Orada sosyologlara çok değer.
Is that crunch not a beautiful thing? Look at those phyllo layers. My goodness. It's not saturated with syrup either like a baklava. It's actually very, very light and not oily at all. Oh my gosh. Everything's turned to a doughy mess. It's stuck to the roof of my mouth. I can't breathe. See? Yeah, don't let the lines fool you. That place will go by fast. It's nice getting in there, immersing yourself with the locals and just the charming buildings and the whole atmosphere. It's a must stop in Izmir for sure. The city's fascinating. You'll find little huge gaps of lands where there's just these modern buildings all around them, and they're actually digging right here, and they found the remains of a Roman bath, so they stopped building.
The Belgium chocolate. I'm 5th generation this
Yeah.
job.
Wow.
Yes.
Amazing.
I'm last generation.
Looks like a diamond.
Yes, like a diamond and price a diamond.
So we're in a place that's going to do things kind of like marzipan. So you see you got a walnut flavor, a very typical marzipan flavor, almond, and you got a pistachio.
Alacağım öyle çek.
So marzipan is actually traditionally going to be like a ground almond paste, sugar, and egg whites. So you see they have a traditional one here. They have like a little bit of a difference here with how they do it. Is they use just a touch of semolina.
Walnut paste, almond paste, pistachio paste. Paste or paste.
We didn't get to eat his products with him because he parked his car in the street and was about to get in trouble. Ooh, I wish y'all could feel how soft this is. Got a little bit of a sticky, like gummy texture. Ooh, you get the richness from the pistachio and that nut flavor. Oh, it's got kind of like a stick to your mouth, slight dissolve texture. I don't know what you're doing. That other half's for you. You gotta eat the other half. Yes. Now this one's much softer than the other, where the other one kind of had a little bounce back to it. This just actually if you press into it, it gets stuck. Oh, the texture on that one is phenomenal. I think you know why almond is a classic. You get this little bit of just like little crystallization, maybe a little bit of semolina coming through it as well.
Onun neden büyük biliyor musun? O herhalde şey olarak kesti onları. Dilim fiyatı kilo fiyatı.
This looks like a big old slice of some fudge from back home. Ooh. You got to be a walnut lover to enjoy that.
Programlar diliyorum. Sağlıklı nice programlar.
Nuket? Which one's your favorite?
The pistachio one.
The pistachio?
It's less sweet.
Uh-huh.
But today I found the almond paste also was nice because it was very bitter. So I felt all the aroma, you know.
Yeah, you know, it was very floral. I'm with you. I like the almond.
Yes.
Now, we literally couldn't even finish our conversation about the Marzipan, which is right there, before I had our shot for the Borek.
This is a very special Borek of Antalya, but because Master Osman was from Antalya. Real name.
And look at the shop, it's just teeny tiny, the small little entranceway. Right here's where they'll flip out that dough to get it thin, and you got the oven in the back. You don't even have to be inside, you get the aroma of that freshly baked bread already. Look at this, cannot even turn in here with my backpack on. That's how tiny it is. Yeah, bad day for a backpack in there. So with Borek, there's many different types. We've seen a couple of them when we ate with Turkish Food and Travel. She made one that had all the layers on it. We've had su Borek, which is the wet one where they boil the middles. And then there's even like a Laz Borek, and there's many more types. So because of the way he's in there, he's throwing it around, he's opening it up. They're actually going to call this a Selkme Borek.
Ricotta.
Now you can see his counter right here. We could have gone a little different ways. I just went for a little cheese this morning. Again, doing that Kashari cheese, which is a great melting cheese. And a little ricotta as well. You can see those chunks and curds. Yeah, very simple, but you really don't need more than this.
Yes, yeah. It's well done.
And they've done about as well as you can with a nice little glass of tea and a beautiful morning, like they pretty much are every day in Izmir. You're content, you're happy.
This is the main street of the Kemeraltı market. It's called Anafartalar Street. It's a very long street lining all the inner port, because now we are practically walking on the sea. From 1971.
So we're going for sherbet here, which is going to be like a Turkish sherbet. I keep always kind of thinking of sorbet when I hear this, but that's not quite right. It's going to be a drink. It's going to be a fruit drink. It can be water, spices, and sugar. This place has been here since 1971 in this location. Look at that.
So this is black mulberry, not from Izmir, but in a place near Izmir, which is called Tire, because the mulberry of Tire is very famous in Turkey.
I gotta grab my cup so we can cheers here.
We
Black
cheer,
mulberry.
we can make
Keep
cheers.
cheers all day.
We keep cheers all day.
Oh, very fragrant. A little bit of tartness, very floral. And I couldn't show it while I was back there by it because of the music, but you see all the saz right there, a traditional Turkish instrument. I've been really contemplating buying one while here in Turkey because I want to teach myself to play. I just know it's a long journey.
Abi çay
12 o'clock, so that means one thing. Or actually, it's 11 o'clock. It's coffee time for Phuket. We're gonna stop, get a coffee, relax, and we'll get back to eating. So we're going for the Manisa Kebab. It's a city just about 30 minutes outside of Izmir. Gonna get here at this little shop that's been open since the 1970s. You walk in here, look at this. You got all the pictures. You got the old school writing, the tile on the wall. Just looks like it's pulled from the 70s as well.
Ben söyledim çok iyi. Yazdım. Yani içine çekmesin.
Çekmez öyle.
Yok, dana eti, süt dana. Hiçbir şey yok. Zaten masaya koyuyoruz. İçine hiçbir şey atmıyoruz.
And look at that thing of butter just browning right next to him 24/7.
Davet istedim. Gitmedik işte.
Evet efendim.
What a spot though. It's just got a charm to it. It's right here on this cobblestone. My chair's like crooked. I'm swinging back and forth. What a great spot. You're like under this little tent almost in the spring. You'll have these vines that would be blooming. It's a very, very charming spot. So look at this. You got the tomato sauce, the yogurt, that grilled tomato and green pepper, what you put on there. You see the meat. You see that brown butter he put all over it on top, and then the sumac, a little parsley. Now what's really special about this though is the fact is it's beef, but it's veal. So a young calf, they're butchering it themselves, they're taking care of it, and that's really going to be a highlight of this. Not adding any spices or anything, maybe a little salt, just to help enhance that flavor. So I almost feel like I'm just gonna try just a tiny piece of this kebab first, just to savor the flavor. Right away, the brown butter takes over. That sumac is the X factor out there. You need that little bit of tang because it's so fatty with that brown butter. It's become nutty, it's become very bold, and that meat coming from the veal. The thing is when you have veal, and you have this animal who's only had the milk, it transforms into its protein structure, which is so soft, juicy, and flavorful. Just a young meat source. But this needs a little bit of everything with it. Look at that. Again, that brown butter going in there. A little money bite action right here. What do y'all think? Ooh.
I wanted.
This place is hitting all the spots for me. You combine that with that tangy tomato sauce that it's not like a marinara. There's not going to be any basil in here or anything like that. But instead, it tastes almost more like cumin and allspice in there. The tangy, creamy yogurt. I mean, I would have been a repeat customer with this pita and the brown butter. Wow. And all these spots are them, all the way from the Manisa kebab down here to where they're doing a durum down here. Look at that skill, look how thin that is. Very good. So much skill to go so closely on that. You can see the juices squeezing out of this doner. Not only that, but you have the fat layer on top that's just getting rendered down and dripping down this. Oh, here we go, special treatment. Oh, wow. Oh, it's crunchy, charred, crispy, salty. Again, veal, and then like a 20-30% mixture of lamb, the fat on top running down that. Oh, just coat your mouth. I know he just didn't put brown butter on that too. They have upstairs seating, but you may have to crouch down just a little bit.
All the people in Kemeraltı know him as Pamuk Dede, which is cotton grandpa, because of the color of his hair. It's very...
So pretty much, because of this man right here, we had to come upstairs because he saw it take a little bit longer on my camera. He doesn't like that. He wants you to eat right away because he wants you to have it while it's still hot so you can taste it while it's at its best. Look at this. You see that brown butter sitting on top of this. Oh, I got the pita under there as well. I think the fact that they added brown butter, that should be illegal. You know it's going to be good when you meet the owner because you see his passion, you feel his energy and his enthusiasm for this food. Usta.
Evet.
Sağ ol. Oh.
13 yaşında.
This is him, the Pamuk Dede.
Kardeş, torun.
Hepsi
Tabii bizde yok, yabancı yok.
o
3 numara.
oğlan.
3 numara.
His son. His son, his grandson.
Kardeş. Pamuk dede. Pamuk dede.
Thank you, thank you.
Közlenmiş kuru biber.
Öyle mi? İkisinden de mi istiyorlar?
It's not just the vibe of sitting in this area, it's the people. They are infectious and it all comes from that owner. Come here for the people, not just the food. I cut this video in two. I didn't know I was going to do that. Look, I'm editing right now. I just want to hop on here and say goodbye. I don't like text. I like to be here, share the effort and love. I'm using my phone. I don't know where to look. I think it's over here. Anyways, thank you for watching. We have the second part of this coming in a few days. It's going to be the last one from Turkey. Peace, my friend.